I was asked to briefly talk about the industrial academia collaboration, especially in the context of medical innovations, followed by some of the funding programs or opportunities that are available in India, which can be availed by anyone who are into innovating medical devices or medical equipment. I am Aditi, and as Dr. Ashish said, that I am from IIT Kanpur. I work with the Technology Business Incubator (SISC) at IIT Kanpur, and I've been there for almost 3.5 years. When I joined SISC IIT Kanpur, my first visit was to SGPGI, wherein I met Dr. Ashish, and yes, that's how long I have known Dr. Ashish. So, COVID has clearly, reinforced the importance of why academia and industries need to come together and collaborate, both in terms of doing more breakthrough research as well as scaling that research to market commercializable level. So, we know why the academia and industry need to collaborate, and this collaboration often results in developing solutions that solve real world problems impacting millions and millions of lives, especially in medical devices and diagnostics and equipment. So if going to a little basic, what we consider in academia and what we consider what all comes under industrial. So when we talk about academia, we have primarily the engineering and the medical colleges in India. Also, we have business schools in India, which collaborate very actively with various sort of industries. And this collaboration often entails in increasing the operational efficiency of any industry. And as you know that in India, the engineering colleges, unfortunately, the engineering colleges as well as the medical colleges, we tend to stay in our own silo, and we neither crosstalk between the two disciplines, nor we crosstalk with any of the industry. But this thing is changing slowly, and the paradigm shift has already happened, and we are slowly pacing on how to increase this communication and collaboration. Coming to the industry primarily comprises of three types of industries. One, we have the startup. So nowadays, we see at even at SIIC, we see a lot of collaboration happening between the startup and professors at IIT Kanpur, wherein the startup, either the professor has some good initial research which has the potential of being translated into a product which can be taken to the market, wherein the startup comes and does the job of scaling up that lab level model to a manufacturable model. Or it is the other way around as well, wherein the startup already has a product, and to continuously do more and more R&D, the startup reaches out to technical professors and discuss their technical problems, wherein the people from academia, primarily the professors, they help them in solving that scientific problem and developing a modified or a revised version of the existing product. Then we have the MSMEs and SMEs, which are primarily small enterprises with capacity of somewhere around 51 to 500 people, and these are primarily manufacturers or contract manufacturers in India. So they also do a lot of aggressive collaboration with academia, because again they have to redefine their product or improvise on their existing product, and that's why they reach out to academicians. And then we have the giant players, like for example in medical devices we have Stryker, we have got Pentex Medical, we've got Philips Healthcare. So the way these industries collaborate with academia is primarily for the R&D reasons. So even at IIT Kanpur, we have various industry-sponsored research projects being undertaken by various professors and who just work on a small scientific problem statement given by the industry. So that's how these are some of the models by which the industries and academia collaborate in a real world. These are some of the case studies of industry and academia collaboration that has happened at IITK. So I will not go into the details in the interest of time, but I'll keep it quite superficial. So we have Professor Tarun Gupta has developed a technology for air sampler, which has now been taken licensed to airshed planning. Then we have another innovator, Nishant Agarwal, who's developing a prosthetic arm, myoelectric prosthetic arm. And he has collaborated with an industry called Portiscape. So Portiscape is helping Nishant one by doing the R&D on the motor which would go in the prosthetic arm. And second, Portiscape has also given some funding to Nishant to do some pilot at one of the foundations in Delhi who work very closely with the disabled people. In order to facilitate and promote a larger engagement between academia and industries, a Technopark has been established at IIT Kanpur, which primarily runs as a model wherein any industry can approach IIT Kanpur and they share their problem statements or the current problems with the faculty members or the students of IIT Kanpur, and then at Technopark, they work very closely with the faculty members and try to solve that problem. So Technopark has been established primarily to bridge this interaction between industry and academia. So the avenues in which both these communities come together could be in 4 ways. One is either both of them do the co-development of the product. For example, in case of Nishant Agarwal, Portiscape is helping Nishant on developing certain components of the prosthetic arm. So both the entities are co-developing the prosthetic arm. And since Portiscape has also given money to the startup, so they have also taken care, they have also sponsored the research. Then we have another avenue wherein the industry primarily takes the technology or innovation from the academicians and scale that up and finally commercializes it. So these are some of the avenues in which both academia and industry communicate and collaborate. Coming to how these engagements are sponsored or monetized. So BIREC is one of the funding schemes which funding agency which is very active in promoting all health tech related innovations in the country. So BIREC is a Section 8 company which is owned by the Department of Biotechnology, DBT, Government of India. So BIREC runs various funding programs, and they have 2 such funding schemes which primarily emphasizes on the industry and academia collaboration to have more innovative products and technologies out in the market. So the first scheme is called PACE, which stands for Promoting Academic Research Conversion to Enterprise. And PACE again has two categories. One is the AIR, which is Academic Innovative Research. So this, I think, could be quite relevant to the people in our audience today. What happens in the AIR scheme is that if any of the academician, any faculty member or any PhD scholar or PG student has some, uh, has some research done which has the potential of being converted into a commercializable product. So AIR scheme is to fund that particular research work without any liability or without any compulsion of on the academician to formulate a startup company, or you try to commercialize that product himself or herself. So here simply the academician can apply to BIREC under AIR scheme for a certain project. The project should have a commercialization potential, and they can simply work on doing the research and developing a particular prototype for the problem statement which has been identified. And under this scheme, BIREC gives 50 lakh rupees for a duration of 24 months. On the and here again in the AIR scheme, it is not necessary to have an industrial collaborator while at the time of applying. You can identify the industrial partner during the course of the project. Again, in AIR scheme, BIREC insists a lot on the technical innovation component of the product. Coming to the second bifurcation of pay scheme is contract research scheme. So this is the scheme wherein let's say Dr. Ashish has already developed a device, and now he wants to do the clinical validation of it, or wants to do a mass manufacturing of that particular device, or want to do a single site clinical validation. So Dr. Ashish can collaborate with an industry X and can propose a proposal together in collaboration with the industry that we would be conducting clinical validation on 1,000 patients or whatever the sample size is. So you would require certain number of units of that particular device, and Dr. Ashish, being an academician, is in no position to develop so many number of the device. So he collaborates with an industry who do the who develop those number of prototypes, and then they do the clinical validation. So CRS again, both the academician as well as the industry get funding from BIREC. There is no upper cap on the amount of funding which BIREC gives. So as long as it is legitimate and the expenses are genuine, BIREC has funded around 1 CR under CRS schemes. And again, there's no cap on the duration of the particular project. Then coming to the so these were the schemes that BIREC primarily has for the academia and industry collaboration. There's one more scheme called IIPME. Although it is not relevant to industry, but it is for if you're working on any idea for developing the electronics which is intensively used in the medical devices or medical equipment. So BIREC has a scheme called IIPME wherein you can apply and get the funding. Apart from these industry and academia specific funding programs, there are many other schemes which primarily support the development and research of medical devices and medical equipment innovation. Dr. Ashish already has availed one such scheme from us. So at SIIC, we have an exhaustive pool of funding programs facilitated by various government funding agencies like Department of Science and Technology, DBT, Department of Biotechnology, BIRAC. We have got from DSIR, from METI, and yeah, many other government funding agencies. So if you just have an idea and you want to develop a working prototype or a minimal want to just develop the proof of concept, so you can avail certain fellowship based funding programs, but these will not be relevant in your case since you already are salaried people. So I'll come down to the prototyping funds that we have at SIIC. So BIG stands for Biotechnology Ignition Grant. It is again a prototyping fund given by BIRAC, worth 50 lakh rupees for developing the alpha version of the prototype, followed by some level of clinical validation. But the reason why how it is different from PACE is in BIG, if you get BIG, it is mandatory for you to incorporate a startup entity like a legal entity and then carry out your operations and all your activities under that company name, which is not binding in case of PACE. Then we have other scheme like Nidhi Prayas. So Dr. Ashish got Nidhi Prayas from us, and which is again primarily for development of prototype. But it is a smaller size funding program. We give you around 10 lakh rupees, and the good thing about these schemes are they have some budget for filing your patent, for doing some travel, for attending conferences, for buying some equipments, consumables. BIG also supports hiring of additional manpower to help you in development of the prototype. Then once you have developed the prototype and now you want to scale it up to a larger level, there we have seed fund. So again, we have seed fund from BIRAC, we have seed fund from Nidhi, and we have our own seed fund, which has been which is the contribution from IIT Kanpur. So these are some of the schemes that you can avail if you are on the journey of developing some innovative medical devices and innovations. I will rest my presentation here